All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you're having a great morning today. Let's get started. Good morning, Norm. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Had a great couple of days with meetups. I thought I had a set of headphones with me. Knew I threw them in my bag, but for some reason they're not there. So if you guys can hear Carlos echoing, then I'm gonna be very limited here.
Yep. No, right now you sound all right. I don't hear no echo. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we do hear a
All
little bit,
right.
but again, what we'll do is when I'm talking, I guess you can mute, and then I'll stop talking, and you could talk, and we'll figure something out. We'll make it work. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning again. Norm is down somewhere in Texas. Where are you, Norm, right now exactly, and how the meetups have been so far?
Oh, the meetups have been phenomenal. So the first night, Sunday night, was in Dallas, and I don't know, we had 25 people out there. Pictures on the website. And then last night we are in Austin. So on the way down here, got Andrew to the shooting range. Um, Shot a little handgun, a little rifle, and he was like a kid that got a pony on his fifth birthday. The look on his face. So it was a lot of fun. We had a meetup last night. We also had a really great turnout for that. So I'm sure pictures will be up of that soon. And now I'm trading on the road down here.
Excellent, excellent. All right, glad you guys enjoy yourself and glad you got to meet some of the members. That's always fun. We had three meetups in New York so far, and I look forward to each and every one of them. They're a lot of fun. Get to meet some of the people that come every time we do it, and also new faces, new members, and just kind of put a face to the name of the members, and meet new people that are not members that that are just fanatic of trading. So all right, so let's get into it, guys. So this morning the SPY is opening up pretty flat, just slightly up, almost half of a percent. So not much. So pretty flat at the moment. Let's look at some of the stuff we had yesterday on our hot list here. So let's go over the stocks, the top place and highlights for yesterday in this area here. So starting off with AMD. AMD was on my list, and again, AMD's been trading really, really well. And I just want to show you a few opportunities we had on AMD here. So first, you get this beautiful pop here. Yeah, if you're waiting for the 5 minutes, this is what you want to be careful with, right? The next 5 minute candle opens up here, but you're on a downtrend on this one. So you want to just wait and get confirmation. This is actually going to bounce from the VWAP. On this 5 minute candle, the minute that I see this where it drops below the VWAP, and it closes below the VWAP, I'm not going long here. I'm going to want to wait to see what's going to happen. Can it come back up and shoot up above VWAP and be a nice open range breakup? Absolutely. And that's what I'm looking for. But the next candle does not do that. It bounces right here, does not close above VWAP. This is my indication this is no longer a good trade to go long. And you can see it turns out to be a really nice short. Tests VWAP, and you get almost 30 cents out of this. So it's a nice little drop here towards the bottom. Then it finds a level here on 26.71. It's funny, we had this level from somewhere in the daily chart yesterday. Tests that level, then gives you a nice pushback right up to a VWAP again. Cannot break VWAP, and then heads down. On the longer time frame, right around 10 o'clock, clearly found this level 2650. Cannot break this here, and this just becomes a beautiful VWAP reversal. We talk about this in our class 4. Again, finds a level here, cannot break lower, starts chopping around. It's very choppy in this area, but then you can clearly see starts making headway towards the VWAP here for a good VWAP reversal. Then from here becomes very choppy, just chopping around. Again, nothing good here to see, so not trading as well as it has over the last couple of days. Very choppy in here. This is where you want to kind of stay away from when you cannot figure out what it wants to do. Is above VWAP, below VWAP, above VWAP, below VWAP. Never a good sign to go either long or short when you're stuck in this situation. If you get in and you get stopped out once or twice, just let it ride. Let it figure out what it wants to do before you take another stab at it. Here's Apple. Apple right off the gate, a huge drop. I mean, you probably didn't get a chance to get into this one. This was an amazing drop right off the start, followed by just an extreme reversal very early on in the open. So these are very difficult trades to take because you just don't know what to expect, right? You can think this could be a pullback for a 5 minute opening range breakup, but your risk to reward is not great because you're so far from VWAP here at this point. Again, just very difficult to trade. And then again, just like AMD, around this time frame, it just becomes very choppy. Just chopping around. Every candle is kind of overlapping the one before. No clear trend here at all to take as a trade. MU, same thing. And this was kind of the day we had yesterday. Yesterday was not an easy day to trade. It was a lot of chop all over the place. MU was choppy just from the start. So no signs of it doing anything good from the start. Very choppy. Look at this 1 minute. The once you see something like this starting up, you just want to avoid it. I mean, this is very, very horrible trading here. And then you can see that throughout the entire morning. Into later on into the mid afternoon or early afternoon, you start seeing this beautiful trend here. But overall, this is a pure chop, really very difficult to trade. S was also choppy as well. S and almost all of them, T, MSU. We'll go through all these cell phone carrier companies that were in play yesterday. We're gapping up on some news based on Sprint. I believe it's Sprint and T-Mobile. Talking some deal talks there. You can see here clearly nice pre-market actions, got a nice little pop, but then at the open just pure chop. Got stuck within this range here, 784 and 761, just chopping around here. And these things don't move much. They do not move a lot. I mean, this was what 20 cents here. So just an entire hour between 20 cents. And this is what Norm was talking about. These utility companies do not trade very well. And then we were getting set up for afternoon swing trading. If you did not catch that, Brian's afternoon swing trading, which he does every Monday, the video is up on our education center. Check this drop here. Whilst we're waiting for that the show to start, out of nowhere 5 million shares get dropped on this one candle here on S, and they all did the same thing. So something came on here. I'm not sure what news broke out, but something happened. Somebody dumped 5 million shares here. T did the same thing, not as big. S was the biggest drop I saw, but look at T as well here, doing a huge drop. TMSU, let's see what they did. They also had a huge drop as well. So again, something broke out there and they all reacted to it. But overall, all three of these, I was looking for a better trade. I was focused on S, but none of them gave us a good opportunity. T kind of gave you a nice little pop here, opening range breakup. But again, here's kind of pretty extended already. So once you see something so extended, it's very tough to take a trade to go along here because you don't want to get caught in this pullback to VWAP. And then just did not trade well at all. OTLK, we were watching this one. Brian took a nice trade right at the open on this OTLK. He got in right at the bell. He saw that there was a possible squeeze coming, and he got in here. Nice little pop up here. He took most of it out all the way up here, so that was nice. And then from there, it just became really untradeable. And look at this one. Look at this 5. Again, a lot of talks about this stocks on social media and things like that, because it's probably the only hot low float right now that's moving. At the end of the day, you can see this after hours. I don't know what went on, but after hours, hopefully people were not getting in short here expecting this to drop. You can see some just crazy action and some crazy post action as well after the markets was closed. So that was the highlights for yesterday on what we had. And I believe Norm had a great trade on NVIDIA. Norm, what's your trade on NVIDIA? If you want to walk us through that. Norm has to unmute his mic. Norm is doing a lot today. He's Friday trading from a laptop. Working from a laptop today. So, but I know Norm had a trade on NVIDIA. I don't remember the exact entry, but it was a really nice trade. So if he can come back on later, he'll explain that trade that he took. In the meantime, guys, let's go over our gappers list. So here we have it. We have quite a bit today. So I'm not sure what's going on. Wow, this one is up 50%. That's interesting. This one is down 27%. We'll get into the details of those. Then we'll go Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers, and then we'll see what you guys have on your list. So let's start with this CIR up 50%. What is going on? Oh, but this is a crappy pre-market action. Looks like a buyout. Actually, not really. It doesn't have the volume for a buy. Only 126,000 shares traded, but really not tradable. This is crap here. Again, it has some good volume. 126,000 shares, gapping up 50%. But again, the pre-market action is pretty flat. So this is the worst pre-market action you can see. Just curious. Want to see if there's any news on this. I'm just gonna log into Benzinga CIR. What do we have? CIR. So they have an update on offer. So they got some offers. So cash bid. All right. So it looks like they're doing some kind of cash deal here. So it might be some kind of buyout. All right. But really not tradable, guys. This is not a good pre-market action to trade. Nothing happening there. VNE. It is up 6.5. 105,000 shares traded this morning. Not a great pre-market action. What stock is this? Veoneer, not sure what company that is, but this looks like a foreign stock. You can tell by the daily charts. There's a lot of gaps, not a clean daily here. And also just the pre-market action does not look great at all. So not excited about this pre-market action. Pretty flat, pretty choppy. So not something we want to watch. STM also is one that we know trades horrible. This one again, pretty much flat here. You can see also the daily chart is a foreign style. Look at this daily chart, how it has all these gaps. So again, this one not really tradable. I'm only keeping V and E because I haven't seen this stock before. Not sure what they are and what they do, but I have them on here just to see if this gets any better. But this is just horrible pre-market action. QCOM on the list today, up 5.1. That's nice. So QCOM up, I'm sorry, 3.2. So QCOM up 3.2 here, 111,000 shares traded so far. So we had a nice little gap down yesterday, nice little drop here. So we're recovering a bit. At the moment, just seems very choppy on the pre-market action. Volume only 117. But QCOM will get the volume for sure. But again, just very difficult to trade. As a stock that's very difficult to trade. We had the levels yesterday, but I did not have it on my watch list. We'll get back to see what it does today. MU on the list, up 2.6, 141,000 shares traded. Had great volume yesterday in the pre-market action, but as we saw in the actual trading, it just looked horrible, right? Just did not look great, very choppy open, and throughout the entire morning, really choppy. So we have MU here. Let's look at the daily, see what we got going on. We had this nice drop. Now we're kind of bouncing back a bit, so that could be interesting. BA. What's going on with BA here. So BA, we have gap up 2.1. See what the SPY is doing, because I don't see no positive news on BA lately, so I'm not sure why they will be gapping up. But yeah, the SPY is trying to get at least over 1%, only 0.73 right now. So trying to get there. Looks like it's trying to put in a bounce at the moment. So BA might be just moving because of that. Again, 155,000 shares traded so far. BA is a little more on the expensive side, so not my favorite stock to trade. We'll find some levels for it because it could be in play today depending on what it does here. Next we have Baba also up 2.2. Again, just could be bouncing back with the market. Pre-market action not looking too great. Does have some volume, 247,000 shares traded right now. But you can see just the pre-market action is not looking clean at all. So I'm just gonna bypass this one. Next we have Tesla. Tesla's gapping down almost every day. So down 2.7 now, 452,000 shares trade. I mean, it's just been taking a constant beating. So I think Tesla will be in play today. Pre-market action is decent. Some great volume here. And we got some levels. I'm just going to remove these levels and get some fresh ones on there. See, there we go. So now we have some new levels based on new information over the last couple of days. Some new high and low. So that's why I'm removing some of the previous levels I had, because these are a lot more cleaner, and the more recent your levels are, the better they are for you to follow. So putting in a bounce here, but still gapping down 2.7. Next we have VCYT 438,000 shares, down 2.8, but no, it's just a block trade. Not really much going on here. So look at this, you have 438,000 shares traded, and you see your block trade right in here for 23.50. So it's hitting our gappers list because it's gapping up, gapping down, has the volume, but really just a pure block trade, nothing going on. So we'll delete that one. Let's move down to ARRY, down 4.6, 662,000 shares traded here. Pre-market action, so looks a little weird though. It's pretty flat right now. The last couple of minutes have been pretty flat at the moment, so I'm not sure what the deal is with this stock. Let's check the daily, and let's check horrible daily chart. Let's check the flow as well. ARRY. All right, so this is a larger flow stock. I mean, it just looks like it's trading like a low flow with this daily chart, but yeah, it's a larger flow stock. I'm not sure what to think about this pre-market action. It just looks very, very weird. It does got some volume. We'll come back to it. Let's give it some time to develop. KSS is on here. We traded plenty of times in the past. Actually trades very nice. Clean daily chart here. Had this nice drop. Wow, 10%. What's going on with KSS? What news do we have? Oops. Sorry, guys. I think I took everything down by mistake here. Let me get you guys back up. Where's my... Whoops, trade ideas. Here we go. All right, not sure what I did there, but hopefully you guys are still connected. Cannot see you guys. Where is our, there it is. All right, here I got you. Perfect. Just want to make sure this doesn't move on me. Always on top. Whoops, we don't need that one. So right, always on top over here. Excellent. And then where are my chat? Here we go. All right, hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Yep, I see you guys. Excellent. All right, Norm guys is headphone secure. Sweet. All right, so KSS, I was going to look at what Benzinga had on KSS because it is down quite a bit, 10%. So KSS. All right, so all right, so they have some earnings. Earnings this morning looks like they're down quite a bit. So this is nice. They missed EPS here in sales. They beat sales but missed EPS. So some future I guess forecast not looking great.
For the rest of the year.
Go ahead, Norm.
They guided down for the rest of the year pretty bad.
Yeah, yep.
I think it's what's hitting hard. So.
Yep, seeing that there. So again, just a very nice drop here in KSS. This will definitely be in play today. It's got some great volume, 790,000 shares traded at the moment. So this is good. We'll look at this one. Pre-market action, it's just a little bit all over the place now. Looks pretty flat, but then this will be in play. Just the daily chart looks amazing. So we'll get some levels on this. MNK, what do we have here? 27.3. Wow, this is down quite a bit. All right, yeah, this will be good today too. Has a good flow, 83 million shares flow. It is on short selling restriction already, but we do have shares for short. I like the pre-market action. I really like the daily chart. Seems to have been on a real nice downtrend here. Got some days where we got some big red days on here, and today we're gapping down quite a bit. Just gonna go check out MNK and see what is the deal with them. So what they got going on?
They got a lawsuit or something, I believe.
Oh, a lawsuit? Oh, that's never good. All right,
Yeah.
so lawsuit on MNK. So this is nice. We could definitely watch this one today. Sucks is already on short selling restriction. Oh, go ahead.
They're also a generic drug manufacturer, so they're kind of getting hit with the same thing as Teva and everybody else with
Yeah, actually.
price gouging ideas and stuff. So.
Yeah, what is Teva up to? I know Teva took a huge hit. All right, so they're kind of just chopping around here. But yeah, it took a huge hit the last couple of days with that, 44 states are suing Teva, something like that. So, yep. So this will be in play. MNK will be in play for sure. Just going to go over this list, see what else is happening here. Yep, I think that's on the gapper. So let's take a look at our Nasdaq active and Nasdaq gainers. BCRX, 4.7 million shares traded. This doesn't look good though. It's just pre-market action looks pretty flat, down 43%. What's the float on this one? BCRX, and all right, so 109. What is the news? BCRX. All right, so also same thing. FDA reducing some attack rates on patients. So it's nothing good's going on here. It looks like they have some FDA negative news, some significant disappointing results on clinical studies. All right, so they're not doing good. They have some bad news here. So this could be in play today. Just it looks funky right now on the daily chart. It has some great volume, 4.7 million shares traded. But even though it has that much volume, again, not creating a really nice flow here. And over the last couple of minutes, pretty flat. But will be interesting to see. We do have shares for short on this one. This ATR again. It says 44 cents here, but it's moving pretty fast today. So you want to be careful. Don't be fooled by this. This is an average of 14 days. So keep that in mind. Today is moving. I mean, it opened up here at 8.15, a summit 15. Now it's down at 4. So this is has a very wide range. So very careful. It's also lower price. So if you're trading with buying power, you can really buy a lot. Be very careful with that. BIOC is up 16.3 this morning. See what we got going on. BIOC flow 18 million, so not too low of a low flow, but it is trading like a low flow, guys. I mean, this has been trading under $1, so anything under $1, that goes under $1, I consider it in that penny stock category. You want to be very careful with this. Yeah, it's popping up over $1 now. But again, just anything under $5, you just got to be very cautious. So at the moment, this is choppy pre-market action. It's got 4.3 million shares traded. So it's got a lot of shares traded. Let's put this one here. Also, BRX. We're going to take a look at it again as well. Actually, BRX is not a low flow, right? BRCX. So sorry, BCRX. Yeah, it's not a low flow, but I'm gonna put it down here just because I want to manage your risk, right? You want to manage your risk on this type of stock that's trading at $4, and you can tell that it can get up to 5 or even 3 in a matter of minutes. So still gonna keep it here in the riskier pile. OTLK, this one we looked at yesterday. Today, what is it doing? Selling off, down 2%. Again, I just don't like the way this stock trades at all. Too many fake outs based on the action I saw yesterday, so I'm not going to be watching this one. SESN also looks like a penny stock here. It is down. It is up 9.1, selling off a bit now. 1.1 million shares traded. I don't have no float information on this one right now, but again, just anything trading like this, I'm just not gonna spend my time on it. We got other stocks like KSS that we want to watch today, so I'm gonna bypass this one. Nasdaq ETF PDD. Andrew traded this one yesterday, and several of the members as well. Let's look at the action on PDD yesterday. Look at this beautiful drop here. Get a nice pullback for the opening range breakdown right in here. This is your entry once you see it doesn't want to make a new high on the way down for the crack. First, you want to get, this is your first target, right? The low of the day, and then it gives you this nice little drop all the way to 20. So that's just beautiful there. Then turns out holds 20. Look how it holds this here. You know, you don't reverse right away. You wait for confirmation. Maybe right in here starts showing that, okay, it's making higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher lows. That's a good signal that it wants to reverse. Look at that, heads right back to VWAP for a nice VWAP reversal. So that's PDD. PDD is here today. Let's see what we have on the pre-market action. Pre-market action doesn't look great, guys. Pretty flat right now. It is up 1.5. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily is bouncing back a bit. It could be much because of the market, really. Not really that it's in play like it was yesterday. So just gonna pass on this one. ARRY we have already on our list. QCOM, not QCOM. This is a QQQ Nasdaq ETF. AMD we have already. No, we haven't. We don't have AMD, and we shouldn't today. It really doesn't have a good pre-market action at the moment. So we shouldn't have AMD at this point. Tesla we do have, again, just has good pre-market action here. Well, not good, not great. It's all right, but we know it's going to get the volume. 474,000 shares traded. Daily chart looks very weak. Looks like it might want to test this level again down here at 195, which is the low of yesterday. So that is interesting. We have to look at today. Nasdaq gainers, JMU. Wow, we have a lot of lower price stock today on our active list with volume 383 here. What's the flow? Oh my God, 385 is the flow, same as the volume. Yeah, I want to avoid this thing here. So not gonna be watching this one, guys. Again, this is too risky, more of a penny stock. It does have some volume, gapping up 27%, but with a flow this low, I mean, nothing good can come out of this unless you focus on that type of trading. So I'm gonna bypass that one. BIOC we have. We'll look into that one a little more. ONCS, no volume. CLRB, starting to get going here. We had this in our list several times. CLRB, 4 million shares float. Right now, it doesn't have great volume. It's just cracking 100,000 at 111,000 shares traded. It's up 14%. Going back to the daily here, we do have several days where we have some nice pops right here. We have some levels it actually hit all the way up here as well. So today's kind of bouncing back a bit. Not sure what to think about it. Again, pre-market action right now is not showing a lot. So unless this gets better, call it out, guys. But right now, pre-market action just looks pretty dead with the volume. MNK we have, right? I thought we had this one. Nope, no volume on this one. FCEL, no volume. SESN has the volume up 1.1, but I was trying to get the float on this one. 55. All right, so 55 million shares flow is not a low flow. It is a lower price stock, so you still have to be careful on it. Pre-market action right now, it's got some volume, but not really creating a good pre-market action. Not creating a nice flow here, so pretty dead in that case. Probably because it needs more volume. Daily chart looks nice though. If you look at over the last couple of days, cracking over a buck here and just heading up. So it has a very nice strong daily chart. Let's just go back to see what some of the, yeah, actually has a good daily chart. Has a decent daily chart. I don't like the fact that it went under a buck. Anything under a buck, I'm always extra concerned with. See, all this price action is under a buck, so I'm not too happy about that. But overall, this stock has traded higher before, and today looks like it wants to pop. It looks like it's got that look that it wants to keep going higher. So we will take a look at it. Let's put it here over in our riskier pile. We'll take a look at it. We're not going to watch all of these. We're going to probably pick the best one out of the bunch. CLIR, not much happening here. EXFO, nothing happening. ENT, not much going on there. All right, guys, we have definitely a lot. Let's see what you guys have on your end that we have not gone over. Norm, anything you like on your side?
Yeah, Carlos, I've got TJX and HD. Neither are at 2% right now, but they were earnings on both of them this morning, so they might be in play. I might keep an eye on those later. I'm kind of limited with my screen space today, so I won't be watching a ton.
Gotcha. And then what's the other one you said? TJX and
HD, Home Depot.
And Home Depot. All right, cool. These guys are both reporting today? You mentioned
Home Depot, yeah, they both reported this morning. Home Depot, I like the daily on, especially.
Yeah, so I was looking at that now. Yeah, has a very nice daily here. It's got a price action sitting right at support from these couple of days here and here as well. So if it can crack that, we have a nice little drop down here. So I definitely like the daily. TJX doesn't have a great daily, but again, we'll have to see how that develops in the morning as the open happens. All right, guys, what else you guys have? So we have CGC on here. Nick, let's take a look at CGC. So right now it is up 1.4. No volume at the moment, only 23,000 shares traded, so very low volume wise. What has been up to the last couple of days? So just kind of small little downtrend here, not making some serious crazy moves. Today's just gapping up just slightly, could be just because of the market, but again, just overall this pre-market action here doesn't look great. And then the volume, so you got two things that are not going for it right now, which is the volume and the pre-market action. Baba, we looked at. I think Baba is active. It's got some good volume. For me, it's a little higher price, so that's why I took it off on my list. But again, it does have a nice pre-market action so far for this stock. That again, usually they don't have a great pre-market action like an AMD or some of these other stocks when they're really in play. These type of stocks just kind of move with like an MU, right? They don't have a good pre-market action. This is a horrible pre-market action, but at the open, they can give you some really good moves. Baba falls into that category as well. So I'm not going to watch it at the moment. I don't think it's on his play on his own today. Can it give you a great move, especially if the SPY starts heading higher here? Because again, the SPY right now slightly trying to get over to 1%. Right now sitting at 0.74%. So trying to do a little bounce back here. The SPY can get going. I think a lot of these stocks are going to pull up as well. You got your MU is going to pull up. You got your BABA that's going to pull up also. BA, yeah, I'm not sure about BA. I might remove BA from here. What else we have? So AZO, good earnings, bad daily chart though. All right, yeah, I could see right now it doesn't have much volume. Yeah, daily chart on this one is crazy. I wouldn't trade this with this type of daily chart. Also, it's way out of my price range at $1,000. So but yeah, although it had good earnings, again, it doesn't really have the volume and everything else going for it at the moment. What else, guys? What else we have? So here we go. We have BOIC. Yeah, we have BOIC. We have here, so that's good. SEN. We have AMD, MU, JD. See what JD's doing. JD not doing much right now, but again, kind of like the other stocks, right? If the SPY can get going, if the markets can start pulling up here, they're all doing the same thing. They all have this drop here, and then have this pop, right? Similar to the SPY. So the SPY goes on a nice little run here. This can actually pull a lot of the stocks up. What I'll do in that case, I'll watch the usual AMD. I'll watch AMD. I'll watch MU. I'll look out for JD, SQ. Our regular suspect that tend to move with the markets very well. And then I'll look for those in our turbo breakup, right? We have our scanners that can actually give us that information, point that out for us while we watch stocks that might actually be in play, like MNK today, right? This is definitely in play on its own. KSS also looks like it's in play on its own, just down 10%, down 32%. We'll look into this one, see if we can get something out of this. BCRX down 46%. These are really good stocks, down with some play. Okay, what else we have? So BAC. My issue with BAC, guys, again, it's just very difficult to trade. I tried taking stabs at this before several times. Very difficult to trade unless you get this kind of day here where it just runs down. Look at the rest. The majority of the days are very, very choppy. Look at the last couple of days. So this is my problem with Bank of America. But right now, it really doesn't have great volume, and it's not really a stock that's gapping either up or down at the moment. So that's my issue with Bank of America. Let's check Lulu. Lulu, what we have going on here. All right, so Lulu, again, just no volume at the moment. This stock trades well. Brian loves this stock. He trades this one a lot. But today it doesn't look like it's anything special happening on Lulu. If they report, so they report in a week or two. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens closer to that date when they report. But right now, not really much going on. It could be just popping up a little bit with the overall market up slightly, less than 1%. Yeah, Trez, Boeing's the 737 MAX has caused a lot of issues. Some more news that keeps coming out, and I don't know if you guys seen that that report that came out. I forgot on which broadcast did it, but man, if you hear the some of the audio and these guys trying to basically fight for their lives, the pilots, and the plane pulling itself down by itself and then trying to pull it up, nothing good comes out of that. But Boeing is a tough situation, man. It's a lot of bad stuff coming out on these planes, and the worst part is they're saying that they knew about some of this stuff, so that's never good. All right, so what else we have? UAA, we have not looked at that one. UAA is yeah, no volume right now, pretty flat at the moment, so we'll bypass UAA. All right, guys, we got quite a bit here. Let's go through this list. Let's eliminate some of the stuff here. VNE, what do we have here? Horrible pre-market action. It is up 5.7. Daily chart doesn't look great, so I'm just going to remove this one, guys. Again, volume doesn't look great. Reasons why I'm not watching this one: although it's gapping up 5.7, this pre-market action is pretty flat. We're already at 9 o'clock. By now, we want to see some good pre-market action. So this is not looking great here. Also, if we go over to the daily, just want to show you something on here. There's a nasty daily chart as well, right here, and overall throughout this trading does not trade well, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Next we have QCOM. My biggest issue with QCOM is how choppy they tend to be sometimes. Today, let's remove some of these levels and find some clean ones. Today, again, pre-market action is not looking overall great, so not sure what's up with it today. I don't think it's in play on its own. But we have some good levels here. We have a previous day close down here. We have the low of yesterday. We have the low of 2 days ago, the high of yesterday here. So right now we're sitting with a lot of great levels. We can mark down the low of today at 77.20, and then the high, right? The high of 79.30. Then above that you got some pretty decent levels because it's been stuck within this range that was stuck a couple of weeks ago in here. So I don't think you need to add anymore. Not a fan of QCOM, so I'm not really going to watch it. But we have at least some levels on here in case it hits our scanners, whatever the case may be. But again, just overall with the chop and the way it trades, I'm just going to bypass it. MU could be a good one today. If the SPY can take off, MU could be interesting. So I am going to watch MU, see if it trades well today. It didn't trade well yesterday, but just in case. So MU is putting in a bounce. You have a previous day close here, the low of yesterday, and the high of yesterday, very close to the low of the pre-market now. So I'm not going to mark that down. I'm going to use the high of yesterday as my support level towards the bottom. Towards the top, the high of the pre-market very close to the low of 2 days ago. So I'm not going to mark that as well. I don't want to have too many levels on here. And if we get close to it, again, these levels are in the area, right? Then above that, very nice clean level. Look at this level here. Tested here, and here as well. And even here as a support bouncing back. So it's a very clean level. We also got a nice moving average here. If we can start getting a rally going there, that could be nice. And then just look at that. Look at this line just right across here. Just clear support. And today could play as a possible resistance. So I really don't think you need to add any more in MU. I don't want to overcomplicate these levels. I think the chart is giving you some really nice clean levels. If you want another one, you can mark down this one here. You gotta You got a moving average on the daily chart coming in as well around 39. I think that can also be a good area also. So that's MU. Pre-market action right now not looking great, but that's typical for MU. BA is just too expensive for me, guys, and I really don't know why this thing is gapping up today. There's no news otherwise. You have higher pre-market 365 towards the bottom. You got plenty of levels sitting on the level from the high of yesterday. The price action is sitting on it right now towards the bottom. High from 2 days ago, low from 2 days ago, previous day close. So that's all in there as well. Just to have another level, if you like, above this 365 high of the pre-market, which also 365 you can tell has been used before. You can mark this one down here, 372.64. And the reason I like this one is you got this nice line. Look how these days all are bouncing between that level here and here as well. So that's BA. I'm not going to watch this one personally, just too expensive. Tesla, it's again just, I think you got some really good levels here. You got the low of yesterday on there as well. It can come back down and test that down 2.9 today. It's got some good volume. A little on the higher price for me. Again, my range I prefer is between 20 and 80, as you guys know. And then towards the top, you got plenty of levels if we put in a bounce, right? You got a previous day close, highs and lows, all in this area. And then a beautiful one here at 220, especially with this moving average coming in. So I'm gonna get rid of Tesla just for my personal, criteria. ARRY, see what we got going on here. So I like this drop on the daily, right? So this is a nice drop here. Daily chart looks a little choppy, but I like that it's down 4.4. It's got some good volume. The trading activity and the pre-market action do not look too exciting though. So I'm hoping that gets better as we get closer to the open. 1924 low of the pre-market, 1925 to be exact. You have a level in here. I'll tell you why I'm selecting that 1680, and then another one right up here around 1822. So this is the low. You got your low of the pre-market here. Then prior to that, you have these days kind of using this as a just kind of stuck within this range until they finally break out, right? And if you look at that range closely, right, some of these are not touching it, but it's an area. You got several of these that are clearly touching that 1680, right? So this is why I like that level there. Then towards the top, you got plenty of levels in here because it's been consolidating there. So you have previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 days around that 2220, 2221 range. Let's get into the pre-market action right now. So right now, just looks a little, I don't know, looks a little flat. Doesn't look too exciting. You can see the 1 minute here. It just doesn't look great. Started off nice in this area here, dropping with some good volume. But now the volume seems to have died down. So I'm hoping that this can pick up. This could be a good possible. If it doesn't get better, I'll switch this for one of my other regulars like AMD. I'll watch that one instead. KSS, what do we have here? This one's definitely in play, guys. Some serious bad earnings they have. So low of the pre-market 55.80ish. Yeah, 55.80. High of the pre-market pretty close to what other levels we have up here, but I'm gonna mark it down anyway. 62.27. Let's go back and see what we have here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, here's one level in here, 58.82. Very, very clean level. I want something towards the bottom though. What do we have? All right, here we go. All right, we got one right here. We got a nice little bounce, right? An extreme reversal here on this day. So 52.65, I think is more than enough for us to keep on here. Worst case, we have another one all the way down here at 49.63. Don't think we dropped that much, but depending how bad people react to this news, it could be interesting. So down 10% right now. We're about to crack 1 million shares pretty soon on this trade this morning. So again, definitely the volume is there. MNK is also great. Also got some bad news on a FDA, something wrong, refuse or something with their FDA drug, I think it was. Kind of similar to what's going on with Teva Norm was mentioning earlier, so this will be interesting. Low of the pre-market 867. Let's go back, see what we have over here. I'm really gonna start looking at some of these weekly charts. Might help us a lot actually. I've seen Andrew do that, and on days like this where again you really got to go back, the weekly might give us some good opportunities. But in this case, this is the all-time low, so that makes it even more interesting. Now I like this one even more. Once we get to that all-time low and all-time highs, I'm very interesting. So 864, I'm sorry, 867 is the all-time low. Has a good little drop here. It's got some great volume. It is on short selling restrictions, but we do have shares for sure. We got our dot S there, so that's good. Yeah, this will be interesting. We're gonna have fun with this one today, guys. TJX. TJX, again, we talked about this one possible after the open, so I'm going to put this down here as a possible to look at in the mid-morning to see how it reacts. They're reporting, so I'm just going to remove it here. And HD has a better daily chart, and actually the pre-market action looks a lot better on HD, and kind of what Norm and I were saying. So right now the price action is sitting right on a level, right on this one here. I'm just going to mark that down. If it can lose this and bring it down a little bit here, here we go. If it can lose this, we got some nice levels. You can see here several days testing that level I just placed right around the price action. If we can lose that, we got a 187, we got 188.39, and also 180 that can go for. I don't think it'll drop that low, but you know, if it can drop from 187 to 188 to 187, that would be nice. And then towards the top, in case we get a bounce, we have several levels, high and lows listed there as well. Gonna bring back AMD, guys. Just gonna keep an eye on AMD. Again, it's some days it trades very well. It's been trading very well over the last couple of days. Didn't trade well yesterday, but overall these days over here, look into these days if you get a chance. Just look at the daily, the way it's been trading around here. Okay, so just take a look at that. You can see some really nice trends that it has done. So don't get fooled on this crappy daily chart we have here, how choppy it is. Look into the details and you'll see some really good opportunities. All right, so let's get into these pile of riskier stocks. So BIOC got some really decent volume, 5.2 BIOC. So it is a larger flow. So this is tradable, 18 million shares flow. ATR on the over 14 days is 12 cents. So that's not bad. Right now, I think it's putting in a good pre-market action. Looks like it might want to come back up and test the high of the day. So let's get some levels. Just going to remove these ones here. High of the pre-market sitting at 235. The low right at this moving average, almost at a 177. We have ran up before in the past. So we have a level all the way up here at 337. No, don't do it, guys. I see you thinking about going long right now in the pre-market. Do not do that if that's not part of your strategy. Don't get fooled by these movements here. No FOMO. So we got some levels here, 235, 178, and going back we have this $3 here and 370. So plenty of levels here. Looks very strong this morning. Looks like it might want to come back up and test this 235. So we'll watch that one today. BCRX is again just not sure about this one. BCRX, let's see, BCRX. Yeah, it's a larger flow. It's not a low flow. I have it here because again the price is a riskier stock, so you want to be careful with it. Let's find some levels. So we have low of the pre-market at 320. Going back, what do we have here? Scrolling away. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, so we have some nice levels in here. We can mark this down. This 411, and then we also have this area here, 455. That's good. All right, and then towards the bottom, in case we lose this 319, just want to have another level. I'm just gonna mark this one right in here at 278. You got several days. Just gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this. We got several days testing that. See, comes right back down to test that 278. All right, this looks interesting. Not sure what to think of it yet. It is a larger flow stock. It's not a low flow. ATR is 40 cents on average today. Probably moving a little higher. It's down 48%. So just be careful with it, guys, because the lower price stock, be very careful. SENE, I'm going to remove. I just don't like the pre-market action. It has great volume, 1.4 up 13%, but just this here just looks very choppy, very algo-like. I just don't like the action. Some looks shady. So let's get rid of it. And then this one here is a possible for in the afternoon, depending on how the open goes. All right, guys. So this is what we have. So good question. So how many rule of thumb, how many levels should we draw on our stocks in play? It depends. In some cases you might not have to draw even any. Let's look at AMD. Besides the ones that I have here, if I remove them, you really don't have to draw much because it's stuck within this range. So you have levels all around the price range. I say you want to have a few levels above your price range and a few levels below. Okay. In here probably you want to add the low of the pre-market, But as far as how many specific number of levels, it all depends on really the price action, right? And I'll give you an example. What's the one that's at all-time low? So this one here, right? We have several levels up here. You don't really need all these levels. These are here from the last time we traded it, but you really only added the all-time low, and then there's nothing in between here besides this, right? These are relevant in case it pops up, but these are not, right? So it all depends on the price action. All right. What else we have, guys? VC, yeah, VC. So CIR we looked at before. We got a couple of minutes here. CIR we looked at before, guys. This is, I think it's a buyout. Again, just look at you got 500, almost 500,000 shares traded here. Pretty flat though, right at 46. I think I looked it up too on Benzinga. CIR. Let's just get this going here. Yeah, CIR. What we have here? Yeah, it looks like a cash buyout or something like that. Yeah, their value is 1.7 billion. Yeah, it looks like some kind of buyout going on, but this is trading like an exact buyout. This is not, I don't think this is a rumor or anything. This is a horrible pre-market action, so you don't want to trade this. All right, guys, so that is our list for today. Andrew's going to come on now and go over his list, and then we'll finalize whatever list we're going to watch for the open. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, guys. Take care. Have a great trading day. Trade safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.